2, and we're there.
Ta-da!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. All of us here would love for you to subscribe, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can join in the live chat, get notifications, things of that nature. You can also check out our webpage at danddadjokes.com, where you can get more information about us, our characters, and upcoming things, and little snippets, blogs, and what happened. You can also find our other links to our other social media on our website, so check it out. Let's get started. Tonight's episode is episode number 42, entitled Kisses and Clues. All right, last week, leading up to this week, you were clearing the waters. So seeing the waters clearing where you were, you guys decided to go explore Filolio while you were nearby. While traveling northward, you see various pools of water clearing as you travel out of the swamp and into the forest once again. Forsyth keeps an eye out from above, scouting ahead to guide the group. On the third day, Forsyth spots ruins in the distance and, scouting closer, confirms the ruins are of an ancient city, long gone and reclaimed by nature. He also finds a large pit that appears bottomless. Making your way to the area, the group spotted a sign on one of the ruins carved out in ancient Elvish. The sign commemorates the ancestors of the Elder Elves with a list of surnames. Among the several listed, a few you recognized. You recognized Koleth, which is the surname of Genlin in Ephraimon, Olin, which is Fervin's surname in Ephraimon, and Vidrathi, which is Zybella's surname. Moving on, you join Forsyth at the edge of the pit and send down TTC to take a look. TTC reaches the bottom of the pit and finds a 5-foot hole that opened into a chamber below. Looking through this, you make out that the ceiling itself is of a 35-foot circular room dimly lit by light blue glow. Deciding to investigate further, you each descended into the pit with little trouble. As they are making their way downward, wow, I just switched, a voice speaks about having a better view of the stars from here. Entering into the room, you quickly find a discarded elven skeleton under rubble and a machine that seems to be powering an unstable portal. When you uncover the skeleton, a ghost appears. This ghost encourages you to go through the portal to see the stars and steps through the portal itself. After some investigation and tinkering, you confirm that the machine does indeed power the portal, and you're able to fix it so that it is stable. Then you step through and find yourselves in a sphere of dark metal and glass surrounded by what appears to be stars. After disabling a machine that responded quite aggressively to your arrival, you investigate the sphere and made a few unusual discoveries. You discovered a suit that was protected by a shield and a set of doors leading to the outside. You also discovered that you were looking down upon the world as you know it, as if looking down on large maps, and soon realized that you are much higher than even the sky. The ghost that follows into the sphere then attacks, attempting to possess one of the party, but fails. The party quickly causes the ghost to dissipate, then turns their focus to the suit and door. As the shield is disabled, Forsyth puts on the suit, and with Evangeline's help, he's able to step through the doors of what is an airlock to the outside. Forsyth explores the outside while the rest of the group continues to explore inside, where you find 3 salvageable Numenera devices and a lot of obtainium. Satisfied with your discovery, you decide to return through the portal. Once inside the previous room, the voice speaks again. This is Ilarion Vidrathi, a king and sorcerer who ruled the land, who was killed and left here by his enemies to wait untold years to be found among these ruins and laid to rest. Giving it a little thought, you gather the bones and take them back with you for a proper burial and head toward Ephraimon. As you leave the ruins, you spot claw marks on the ground. Remembering the ghost had mentioned rat folk, you make a cold camp and you keep a vigilant watch. That is where we are picking up, is at the cold camp. All right. Did I have you guys go ahead and do perceptions and all that? I don't remember.
Not that I remember.
No, I think we had just decided on a cold camp and we haven't done anything.
Okay. Alrighty. Um, first watch, give me perception.
How many watches we doing?
Usually you do 3.
Yeah, I'll go first. Oh, I got the hiccups.
I had those earlier today. It was not fun.
Why'd you give them to me? I didn't want them.
I didn't mean to.
25.
25. I have to find my thingy. Oh goodness. Where the heck is it? Okay. It's not in there. 20?
25.
25. All right. Um, the night goes by for you. Your watch goes by fairly uneventful. Um, you do notice that the night sounds of the forest do get quiet.
I would, like, quiet.
Quiet, quiet.
I would, taking heed of what we were told, gently start to wake everyone. And let them know that I hear nothing. Literally nothing.
When was the last time you cleaned out your ears? No.
I am a very well-groomed dwarf, okay?
You woke me because you heard nothing.
If you remember, we were warned that the real danger is when the forest goes silent.
Yes,
New
yes,
way
yes.
of doing watches.
I
Okay,
mean, I could have left you to
let's
sleep
look around.
to die in your sleep, I suppose. But
You begin to wake up,
I'm
noticing
gonna
that it is quiet. There's no cricket.
detect
There's
magic.
no anything. Right? That's 60 foot or 30 foot?
30, I think.
All right.
Where is it? Yeah, 30-foot radius.
And it lasts for an hour, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay. Nothing immediate.
I'm gonna cast see invisibility.
Right. Look around. You do not
It
see
lasts for 1 hour.
Okay. You do not see anything right.
Does that make you invisible on the sea?
I reach over, I touch Kadath, and I cast Gift of Alacrity on both of us using a sorcery point.
I am going to hold on. I thought I had that. Never mind. I thought I had a spell on here and I don't have it. I'll prepare it for next time though. Oh, maybe that was it. I'm going to cast Commune with Nature.
Okay. Part of that allows you to ask what, 5 questions or just talk?
No, it's you briefly become one with nature and gain knowledge of the surrounding territory in the outdoors. Spell gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles, caves, natural underground settings. Radius is limited to 3 foot. In a cave's at 300 feet, that's it. Spell doesn't function where nature has been replaced by construction. You instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following: bodies of water, prevalent plants, powerful celestials, influence from other planes of existence, and buildings. So I would pick, of course, the prevalent plants, minerals, and animals and peoples, the powerful celestials, fiends, elementals, or undead, and the influence from other planes of existence.
You get nothing about the other planes of existence, and nothing about the Fey, fiends, or undead, other than there was that nature tends to still have that residual from the one ghost,
Right.
because that's still prevalent. However, the plants of the forest are exactly as you would expect. The animals of the forest is exactly as you would expect, aside from one. You get the sense that there is an altered group, mutated or diseased, that are rat in nature.
Okay, can I feel which direction they are?
You sense that you're kind of in their territory, but the majority of them are probably coming from the north.
Okay, no problem.
And
That
not
tells us a whole lot of info.
large group, but
I'm assuming you're sharing that with
a
us.
large group.
Oh, yeah. Once I gather all the information, I will share it with everybody.
Can you tell how far away they are at all?
I don't know. That's up to Jody. I said instantly gain up to 3 facts of your choice. So we determine what kind of animals they were, and it wasn't the trees. So
Say no. You're not gonna know exactly how far they are. You do know that they're toward the north, though.
yeah, but
Well,
if he can,
the range is
they're
within
upsetting,
3 miles, right?
right? Yes.
So they're within.
But if
3
they're
miles.
upsetting the other animals and even making crickets go quiet, chances are they're pretty near.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes, and then after like 3-4 minutes, just to
Eagles eat rats, right?
kind of give them time to get closer to us.
Eagles do
Yeah.
that.
Well, I guess it's not a huge deal, but I'm gonna end up casting Armor of Agathis
Okay.
on myself.
I will say, nothing is. Yeah, your invisibility is not going to show anything because they're not invisible, nor do they travel in the ethereal plane.
I'm going to cast dark vision on myself so I can see better.
Okay.
Good ideas.
At about 2, maybe 3 minutes or so, after Forsyth kind of lets you know what's going on, you are going to pick up almost magic. It's not quite magic, but I'm going to let it ping on your detect magic.
Okay.
Coming from the north, it's an odd magic. It's more of a curse than
All right.
an actual spell.
Oh, I'm gonna look that direction. I mean, I got 120 feet of dark vision, so
Okay. Roll
although I
me
know we're in the woods.
perceptions.
Let's see, perception. Let's see if I can roll better than I was on Saturday. That's a little better, 16.
Good.
I actually rolled double digits, which is basically better than Saturday.
Yeah. I don't think
I,
you
I
rolled
rolled
mighty
out of like
terrible.
10 or 12 die rolls, I rolled double digits twice. It was
You've
so
seen me
bad.
do worse.
It was pretty bad. All right. You are going to ping with your 16. You're gonna spot um 2 uh, bipedal. I mean, they're walking on their feet, um, or their hind feet at least. They look like humanoid rats. Like you see the ears, the elongated nose. Both hands are clawed. The feet, as they're walking, they're not wearing shoes, but they do seem to be wearing some tattered clothing. Um, but they're not wearing shoes, so you can see that the feet are kind of formed much like a rat, and it's clawed as
Okay.
well. You're picking up pretty quickly that this is definitely the tracks.
I'm gonna look that direction and say, stop there. We don't want any trouble. And if they look like they're gonna move forward at all, I'm gonna shoot an Eldritch Blast like right over their heads.
Okay.
Unless they
I can.
start like running or something. In which case I'll do something totally different. But
That's.
what was
How
that?
far is that?
Intimidation.
Intimidation. Hey, I haven't used that in a while. Oh, there comes the single digits again. 10 total. That's with a +8.
Pause. They're thinking about it. They don't look too scared, but they do take pause, and you can see that they're kind of looking you over and spotting the other 3 members of your group.
Do we see them? Do we all see them at this point?
Kadeth, if you've pointed them out, I mean, if you
Yeah,
pointed, you will spot those 2.
I mean, you see where I'm looking at least.
Do you speak the common tongue?
They will titter
They will what?
like a rat. I could
What's
make
the
a guinea
range
pig
of
sound.
telepathy?
What? I will activate my helmet. What are they saying?
It is rat speech. Uh, does your helm actually allow you to speak like languages of animals?
It doesn't allow me to speak it. It allows me to understand.
Oh, okay. To understand. Okay. Um, you will hear them kind of chittering to each other. Kind of like, well, yeah, they look capable. Should we go around? What should we do? Um, one of them's like, it only takes a bite.
What's the range of telepathy?
60 feet, I think.
I think it is
Mm,
60 feet.
The spell or the feat?
Uh,
Oh, that's true. The feet's slightly different.
the feat, I believe, uses the spell out of Tasha's page 81 in Tasha's. I was trying to bring that up. Feels like Monday. Everything's going slow.
Yeah, it is 60 feet.
Yeah. Okay, and
Uh,
I believe I can anything that has an actual language, I can talk to it, or do I need to?
You could telepathically send to it.
Hearing that, what they're saying, Fix's hand will start to glow bright red, and I'll simply say, "You won't get within distance to get a bite."
Roll me an intimidation.
Let's see, that is a 16 plus 8, 24.
All right. You can see, and if you are using telepathy, are you using telepathy?
I am.
Okay. You're gonna get some thoughts. They're actually saying fire. Are you doing fire, or is it just glowing?
It's essentially preparing to cast firebolt.
Okay. You're gonna hear them think fire, um, and you're gonna hear off in almost a little bit to your east, um, as if some moved around. You're gonna hear some more rat chittering. The rest of you are gonna hear some rat chittering. Fix, you're gonna hear one from the west kind of call out and say, "Around." And you'll see the other two not getting closer, but moving around you toward the
That
east.
that's only Fixes hearing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys just hear rat noises.
I will translate essentially.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot off to Eldritch Blast right above the head of the one that's still standing there.
Oh, they started to move.
Oh, did all of them move or?
Well, the two that you see.
Oh, okay. Then actually, I'll shoot it right in front of them at the ground.
You don't
All
want
right.
them to leave?
I want them to go away.
He wants them to move faster.
I want them to
So
move
wouldn't you?
faster, but in the other direction, not around us, just away from us. So I'm purposely aiming at like 3 or 4 feet in front of them on the ground,
Okay.
like the direction they're moving.
Okay. You're gonna get out some. It's force damage, so it's gonna hit. It'll flash up some underbrush, some dead brush, and things like that. And you'll hear them squeal.
Yeah, I successfully hit the ground.
Yay! Kadath can hit something. And you'll hear them squeal, and they'll start moving a little bit faster, and moving and extending the distance between them and you, but still moving off to the east.
And I'm gonna yell out, I would suggest leaving, not trying to surround us. It will only end badly for you.
I'm gonna uh, change into a giant eagle and take to the air so I can
All right.
observe their progress.
Okay. All right. You take to the air. You spot them every so often, kind of darting between the trees. As you're kind of watching, they are moving away. They're moving toward the ruins of Philolio, actually. Um, they are. You spot 4 of them moving toward the ruins of Philolio. and they go quiet. They stop chittering. They stop talking. Um, they perceive you as a threat at this point, and they're gonna move away and quiet and stealthily.
All right. For now, I will fly up higher.
I will lay back down.
Evangeline says, "Night all."
Y'all got this.
Have they moved out of my sight?
They have.
Okay.
I'd go back to watch.
Wish I had the alarm spell.
Mhm.
I wish I had inventory slots for a weapon of warning,
That'd be nice.
or not the inventory slots, the attunement slots.
Blood.
Yeah, we knew what you meant.
All right, go to sleep. As you begin to wake up for the second watch, um, night sounds are starting to return ever so slowly.
After following them for a little while, seeing that they are moving off, I will return to my nest.
All right. So, second watch goes by, uneventful. Noises begin to come about as the night wears on. Third watch is also uneventful. Morning breaks, and you break camp.
How many days do we figure we are till we get back to the town?
About 4
Ephraimon.
days.
About 4 more days. At this time, I will use my circlet to try to get in contact with the gentleman that guided us through the forest.
That would be Jurek. Okay. I mean, you know him well enough. You've conversed with him. You traveled with him. So I would say you're probably able to get in touch with him.
Well,
You could
he's got to
easily
accept
figure
it.
him out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he'll
Collect call for you.
collect
Yeah.
call. He'll accept it. Do you start off with just like a hey, it's fixed, or like, I mean,
I
how
would.
does that work as far as like accepting it? Because there's not a
Uh,
word limit, right?
He says,
no, it's the
"No, it's
conversation.
fixed."
Actually,
Okay.
It's
we
the
stay
collect
connected
call.
for
24 hours.
we stay connected for 24 hours.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he'll
Essentially,
accept it. Not. He's used to getting messages and things like that, from the council and whatnot. So he's
Deposit
not.
25 cents for the first minute.
no, I deposited a whole lot of gold to get it enchanted already.
Hiya,
Uh,
Todd. It's a boy.
uh, no, I'd just be like, so we took care of the corruption and those creatures in your swamps, and we're on our way back. Well, first, at least to me, most importantly, I need you to set up a place for me to cook a meal and to have the date that I'll be coming to have. I want to make it an impression, so a good meal. I do have the ability to cook, so I don't mind cooking it in a nice place. But to be a bit more somber, we did locate uh, the remains of one of her ancestors, so we'll have to deal with that first. I think that they deserve a proper burial. They requested to be released and properly tended to.
He'll say, do you need me to meet you? Or do you think you can return to Ephraimon on your own?
Oh, we're pretty confident that we can return on our own.
All right. Well, I will prepare a place then. I have one in mind. And bones of Zybella's ancestors?
I would give the name that Joe doesn't remember.
Okay. Which I said when I read the town crier.
You did, and Joe still don't remember.
Neither do the rest of us, except probably Rhonda.
Which is her job.
Wait. Are the town crier notes up on the website?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I can
They're
bring
also on
them up.
Discord.
Or I can just
Well,
tell you the name.
I
Well, you
can't.
can't really do Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or on Discord, yeah. That they generally read a little bit better on the website than on Discord.
Vedrathi.
Is it pronounced Vidrathi?
Yes,
Vedrathi.
Vidrathi.
Yeah, I would give that name. He said he was once a great leader and was targeted by great enemies or conniving enemies or something to that effect.
That is a name I have not heard in quite some time. Be cautious.
Why?
There is
Where's the fun in that?
much
Them bones gonna walk around.
much danger in the ancestry of the Vidrathi family.
If you believe that we should just burn these remains and not mention them, we can make that happen.
Well, it would be best that they are buried properly, especially if any spirits are attached. They should be laid to rest. It will require a descendant to do so.
Okay. Well, we will be cautious.
I will prepare a place.
Thank you. So this is gonna like stay up for about 24 hours. But I'm not like in your thoughts, so just yeah, if you want to have a conversation, I'm here, I suppose.
The line's
Strangest,
open.
strangest things ever. Very well. I'll contact you if I run across problems.
Sounds good.
Fix's mom is somewhere across this world going, oh, thank goodness he's finally hung up.
Oh no, that hung up a long time ago. It only will last for 24 hours.
What's
And I rolled a 2.
More like, oh, good, he's found somebody else to talk to.
Somebody else to talk to.
All right.
In a sense, I'm kind of glad we're traveling together. You can just talk to me in person, not in my head.
Well, in your ear.
Or in my ear. But I can take that out.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I will let the group know what was said about the dangers of the Vidrathi line. And that we need to be careful.
You need to be careful. You're the one that's carrying them bones. Oh, I guess I need to be careful too.
I think we're all
Make
carrying
sure
stuff
nothing's
of.
going on with my
Wait, I think I'm actually
bag of
carrying the
holding.
bones.
Oh, okay.
I just got
I
the
don't-
bones inside, so.
I don't want to carry anything that might be able to be reanimated in any way.
No, you just want to carry the evil orb.
The evil orb and all your little constructs.
The things associated with an evil deity.
You're just carrying an evil orb that one day is going to take over one of your constructs.
Well,
Okay, now I just imagine it taking over like TTC. It's like,
stop
look at
giving
me,
the DM ideas.
I'm the evil little robot.
An evil robot that's a stall.
Fear me.
Oh my word. All right. Your travel goes back relatively smoothly. Uh, Working your way through the forest. Some areas you have to cut through, other areas are less dense. And you make it back to Ephraimon pretty easily in 4 days. Um, no running into any Juraskar, which you're pretty thankful on. And come to find out that, you know, you don't really have any evidence of Juraskar as you're going back into town. That it is perhaps that they're not quite as common as the town led you to believe.
What? No.
Hogwash.
All right. You head back into Ephraimon. The guards, with the wall around the city, the guards give you a nod. They recognize you. Um, I'd say you make it back into town probably about noonish, midday. Sun's high. Uh, you can see Jurek kind of meandering in the square, knowing that you guys would probably arrive at some point today.
I would walk up to him.
All is set in the cloud tree, the upper level of the cloud tree.
Thank you. And where is everyone now? I would like to get the less enjoyable things taken care of.
The council is most likely in the cloud tree in the council chambers. Also, I have forewarned them that you did achieve the task at hand, and that you should be returning today, so they're probably there.
Okay. Will you be joining us?
If you need me to be, I will. I probably should go. You never know when they want something.
I'll look to the others and be like, okay, let's go.
Yep.
All right. You head up into the cloud tree to the place of which that you met the council to begin with. Wait. All right. I know I wrote it down here somewhere. All right. You walk in, and the council looks up from. Yeah, they're having a discussion and whatnot. Um, Perceptions.
Perception. 24.
18.
27.
Could you go, Forsyth?
I rolled a
Did
natural
you
20.
get muted, Bronca? Did you mute your mic on
Wasted a
accident?
20.
I forgot. I did when the dogs were barking. A 23.
Okay. Oh, Kadeth, what did you roll?
18.
18.
I
Okay.
didn't see anything.
Y'all rolled pretty good. There for a second, I thought y'all rolled above a 20. Um, you will all notice that they are having a discussion. It's not a heated discussion or anything. It looks to be city business. But what you do notice is that Zybella, although she is sitting there, she is definitely not engaged. Or she doesn't appear to be engaged in any way. That's just upon coming in, you just kind of notice that. They look up from their discussion. They halt their discussion. They see you. Fervin holds up a hand and kind of motions you forward. Come.
I'll wait a moment, like longer than necessary, and then move forward on, it's on my time, okay?
You are obstinate.
He's asking something about a brain. I mean,
I cast Mage Hand and Slap Fix. Oh.
I shrugged. I was like, eh,
I'm
I've
going to
taken.
tell your mother you're being impolite.
I was not impolite.
Forsyth will step forward because he's polite. Unlike some people we know.
Hey, I am very polite. I just sent a message.
As you step forward, Fervin will say, I have been informed that you did indeed rid the swamp of these creatures.
We did better. We rid the swamp of the source of the creatures. For
What
now.
was the source?
Oh, an evil deity.
An evil deity. He will kind of look at Ginlin, and Ginlin will give a little nod, and he'll write down just some notes on a parchment. Says very well. If it should arise again, we will call upon you. But he kind of looks over to the side, and there's somebody standing there, and he gives him a nod. And after a few moments, he comes in, or he'll leave, and he'll come back in with a small chest. What was it? 6,500?
6,000.
6,000.
We
And
negotiated that, and the 500 less for the date.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
that
right.
and the date.
Yeah.
6,000 and a date.
A 500 gold date.
We didn't all agree to the date.
I was the one doing the negotiating.
But there is 6,000.
So what
He
you're
says,
saying, there's a lesson to be learned there.
Yeah, don't
Well,
let
don't
Fix
let Fix and
negotiate.
well,
negotiate.
Forsyth was gonna do it for like 2.
Hey, at least it wasn't me negotiating. It was probably going to be like 1,000, if that.
It would be free from death.
If not free, yeah. It'd be donation only.
I'll take a love offering.
I'll take whatever you got, whatever you want to give me.
Farvin will say this is the 6,000 agreed upon, and he will then look at Zybella, and Zybella will look back at him and give a nod. And he will ask.
And at that point, he
Okay.
just Fix just kind of throws up his hands. Before we get it, number one, well, I really would like to have a date with Zybella. I do not want it under the pretense of a payment. Was simply a means of banter. But I have prepared for the date if she is so willing. But there's no obligation there. But on a less enjoyable note, on our travels, we did come across the. I just had it. What was it? Da, da, da. I
Started with a
found his
V.
actual. I know it's Vidrathi, but I found the
Yeah.
actual name of him. It was
George.
George.
Alarian, but we found the remains of Alarian Vidrathi, and his spirit requested to be put to rest. He was found discarded in a pit in the ruins of Philodo.
Odo. Um.
Fololio.
Oh, phyllo dough. You make some really good desserts out of that.
Baklava.
that was Chuck's from the video from last week.
Farfin will kind of
And
listen.
I'm watching her since it's
Uh,
her ancestor.
you see her get a curious look on her face. She doesn't seem to recognize the name. She's curious. You will notice, the rest of you who's not looking at Zybella, will notice that Farvin gets a little stiff. There's almost an instant tension.
So he recognized the
Can
name.
can I roll a perception to see if I caught that out the corner of my eye?
Well, what's your passive? I mean,
My
you can roll
passive
it
is
anyway if you
16.
want. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
He has he has an ancestral name that was on that list as well.
Yep. Ole.
Yeah. No, 14 plus 20.
Oof. Yes, you do notice it.
I'll look at him and why so tense?
This is not a name that is allowed to be spoken in this city. However,
Why?
there are dangers involved in the ancestry of this family.
It's a word.
Yes. He will kind of look to Zybella and say, "You must do this quickly and outside the city." Zybella gives a little nod.
So this name was on a plaque of commemoration alongside your own ancestry.
Indeed,
And a
many
few
of
others.
Yeah.
many of the elders here can trace their ancestry there.
So why were his the only bones found?
Perhaps he was disturbed upon his burial.
No. He was left to starve to death.
He wasn't buried. He was in the rubble.
He was thrown into a pit and allowed to, and just left there.
Not
How
very
do we
nice.
know his bones were not just thrown into the pit?
Well,
He said so.
I guess he could have lied, but thinking on it, based on the position of the bones, if they were they all together?
Yeah.
But if only his bones were tossed in there, they would have been spread out more. But this was more like decomposition that left his bones in a single location. Next excuse?
Or at most, he was killed and his body thrown in there.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Why
That's
would he
not what
tell
he
us?
said.
Yeah, why would why would it matter to him if he was killed and thrown there or left there?
Either way,
Either
he
way, he
said.
was. Yeah. So I don't believe he lied to us. I'm. Do you know of anything of how his bones got there? I ask. I'm looking straight at the guy.
He'll say, this is a, and he kind of looks around, conversation to be had without audience
Why?
because it is necessary.
Yeah, I don't buy that. Do you guys buy that?
Okay, well then dismiss them.
He will look around the room and he will wave his hand. You will hear several people kind of
Mm.
getting up from around the getting up from around the room. And
And I'll say, but
Except
not Zybella.
Zybella.
Yeah, I'll say, except Zybella. She has a right to know of her ancestors.
she
And I'm
just kind of
curious to know why she doesn't know and everybody else does.
Well, if she's young, that may be why.
does look very young. He is young for an elf.
But even so, I know of my ancestors.
Stays. A few people stay. Um, you will see Ginlin stay. Farvin stays. One of the other ones that Lucas stays. Verona stays. Zybella will stay. So only 2 of the council members will get up and leave.
At least all of the ones stayed that we know their surnames were on that placard.
All but you weren't sure about Lucas's surname or
no.
Verona's surname.
Yeah. The three
Yeah.
the three surnames that we recognized on the surnames
Yes.
of the 40, you told
Plus,
us there were
yeah.
40 or so names on that placard, and that we
Recognized 3.
recognized 3. Ginlin's surname, Farvin's surname, and Zybella's surname.
Yep.
Okay.
Those 3 stay plus 2 others.
I'll look to them and say, what are your surnames?
Oh.
You don't have to actually give us them, but I'm just trying to see if they match the ones that we read.
It was yeah, they'll give you their surnames, and no, they do not match the ones that you've read.
They changed their names.
And did our guide stay?
No, he got up and left. What,
So?
he's gonna stay? No.
I'm
What's
telling
that?
you, they changed
I
their
said him
names.
stay? Nope.
So, now that our audience is gone, speak.
The ancestors of the Vidrathi had a gift. I guess I should say. I don't know. That's the best way to put it. They ruled. But they ruled in a manner in which was not chosen. They were able to charm.
Well, I'm quite charming myself, but that doesn't mean I should be discarded in a pit.
Sounds of their voice could charm. It was just the way in which they spoke. It is not a charismatic type of charm. It is a almost magical charm.
But you are elves.
Yes.
You have, from all that I have read, you have a natural resistance to such things.
Yes.
So they were able to get around that.
Yes.
I'll look to Zybella. Do you possess these gifts?
Does indeed. Parvin will say. Will hear in your head, Fix. Um, the rest of you will have to roll a perception to know that she is doing anything because she is hiding it. But you will hear in your head, Fix. She'll say, I do indeed possess these gifts. Therefore,
16.
I do not speak unless
23.
necessary.
Do I get the feeling I can respond?
You do not.
I got a 12.
1 second. I've got a dead headphone battery I've got to swap.
Oh no. Um,
I do want to do something though.
okay, Evangeline, you will kind of see just a very slight eye flicker almost, or maybe just a very slight tip of the eyebrow. Um, very subtle. You're the only one that really notices it. Forsyth Cadeth, you don't notice this, but Evangeline, you will notice that Zybella has a little twitch of her eyebrow as she looks at Fix. But no, you do not feel like you can respond. It is not. It does not seem to be like a normal message or telepathy type of thing. It's one way. It is
All
her
right,
to you.
out there.
I'll reach up and I'll run my finger across my circlet and just whisper the command word and attempt to connect with her.
Uh, oh yeah, because it's been a couple days, hasn't it?
It has been.
Yes, she will allow it with a a slight tilt of her head, very subtle still. Not used to being able to be responded back to, so, but she will accept it.
I'll just, you know, I'll watch her and I'll just kind of smile and be like, why not learn to control it rather than simply avoid it? If one controls it, one can choose to use it or not.
If I had a means to control it, I would.
But the words that you choose give you control. The same way that I chose to relinquish the silly little claim of a date. You can speak to people in ways that is not suggestive.
Perhaps choice of word would
But
be
you have
one
such a
means.
pretty. What's that?
I said perhaps choice of words would be one means.
And these elders said with a little hint of disdain, seem to want to dictate what is best for you. I want to keep you in the dark of your ancestors and your family. And if any of the rest of the group could hear him, they would know that he is speaking from a little bit of annoyance in his own life.
We met your
You
mother.
speak like one of experience.
Yeah.
Um, with this, you will see her kind of turn to Farvin for a moment, and then kind of turn back. Farvin will say, very well. We will ensure that the pyre gets built immediately, and then you do as you must, Zybella. And she will still accept this date, even though you have relinquished the payment thereof.
I don't take your word for it. I want to hear it from her. And I'll put emphasis on the word here.
She will look back at you and she will say, telepathically, must we do this here?
What better place?
Farvin gets a little bit of a concerned look.
Good. Very good.
I mean, you got this little dwarf, like, standing there in full plate armor, shined to the nines, with a obviously magical circlet, and just kind of, like, not giving a crap about this guy's station.
Not at all. He will kind of look at Zybella and give her a slight nod. She will.
I got
she
your
will,
back fixed.
She will
Because you
audibly.
got me
the ed-
standing right next to you, so
With the etiquette of a wet washcloth.
Right? She will audibly sigh before she speaks.
Oh,
And she'll say, I will accept this date. She chooses her words very precisely, being sure to only refer to herself. And all of you will hear, though you hear a very clear soprano voice, it is higher pitched. You hear a very clear soprano voice, but it also comes with it. You can't help but notice almost the tinkling sounds, almost like a wind chime that comes with it.
how much you want to bet she's part Fey?
Yeah, or siren.
there are ways. There are ways
Or
to find out.
Siren?
Would you like me to find out?
Ways to find
Not
out.
yet.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't have said anything yet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait till we're
Okay.
in, see and wait till we're alone.
Yeah, but I got to be within a certain range of her.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be
Well-
close enough to her later.
Yeah.
This is
Feel
not
free
a
to know
group
where
date.
she'll be.
Not a group date.
Yeah, but some of us still don't trust the Fae.
That's what he thinks.
But if she wants it to be,
After all, we hear this tinkling in her voice.
Arvin will kind of wave his hand. He says, there, you have it.
Have you ever had dealings with rat folk?
I have not.
Hmm.
I think they might be afraid of fire.
Yeah. We ran into some.
I'm going to do a perception check on her.
Her? Okay.
I would like
Perception? Or an insight?
Well, insight, right? Insight.
Oh. Insight
On
on
her or
Cybella
on him?
or on Farvin?
On the one you're talking to.
Yeah, it
That
would
would
be
be
Farben.
But I
Farvin
didn't
that
see
you
much
asked
of
about
anything
rat
with a
folk.
7.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I would like to also do an insight on him. That is a 21.
Yeah. My dice aren't loaded.
I think Fix has a high plus.
Hold on, I rolled pretty good.
I have an okay plus. It's a +6.
Yeah,
I
don't have
rolled
a
an
plus
insight
3
for
on insight.
13. I want to roll an insight on Fix. Oh,
Mm-mm.
You rolled a what? A 20 what?
1.
21.
21? You know there's something there. You can't flat out say that he's lying, but there's something. He's holding something. He's holding some cards.
Well then,
Now you know
I-
why I
I'll
did an insight in the first place.
I got
I'll
cards too. Oh,
I'll
Swanky.
look to them and say, "Would you like us to hold on to the remains until it's time?"
Who do you look to for that, Farvin?
Zybella,
Oh, Bella. She will nod.
kind of bow my head. Very well. Then I suppose I should go start prepping the meal.
and when you are ready for the remains, please come find me.
Or you can just think to me and I'll find him.
Remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen. But um, you will hear in your head tonight. Then
Tonight. I look forward to a lengthy conversation.
Tonight.
very well.
And I'll give Farvan a not a dirty look, but a I don't trust you look. Yeah, like
Statue.
and then I'll turn and walk out.
All right. The rest of you follow, I assume.
Yeah,
I suppose so.
All right. You guys head out. You see Jurek kind of standing out there, kind of waiting. Um, says, good. You are finished. Is it all set?
You knew all of this already, didn't you?
I don't know much.
Mm.
Well, not much. Some.
You know more than you let on. So, where's my kitchen?
Points up toward the
I'm
treetop. Come, I'll show you.
I'm gonna head to the library
All right.
because I have things I want to look up at this point.
All right. So Jurek is going to lead Fix up to the top of the cloud tree. Um, you know why it gets its name. It's very tall. Uh, as you head up to the top, you are going to begin to see some of the other treetops kind of dissipate. You're going to get above some of the other treetops where you've got a wider view. It's absolutely gorgeous up there. Now you know why he picked it. And he will lead you to basically it's a kitchen. There's a little bit larger walkway around the tree up here, um, where it does seem to be set for several tables and whatnot. But he's got it set up to for you to cook, for you to do whatever. He will let you know that he is here. If you need something, he will run down and get it for you so that you can focus on whatever you're doing. He is going to be your hey boy for the evening.
My sous chef.
Yep.
Do you know what her favorite meal might be?
To be fair, no, I do not. I know that she does not have anything that she's doesn't like. At least nothing that we've prepared here in the Ephraimon.
Do they eat meat, or are these vegan elves?
No, they eat meat.
Okay.
Nope. Eating meat is a cycle of life, man.
All right. Uh, okay. He'll start cooking. I don't know if you want me to actually roll my chef's tools stuff. So
I mean, you're welcome to if you'd like to try your chef's tools out.
yeah, let's do
Maybe
that.
you'll roll that one. Oh.
And that's when I'm like, so do you got DoorDash around here?
The dwarf dash.
Ah,
Dwarf dash.
would that be considered dexterity?
I think there's. I think most of the tools will
Mhm.
go by performance. There are some that does not. I would
Charisma.
do the cooking as performance.
Okay.
Because you are applying what you know of the trade.
All right. Let's see there. I will take that. 24.
All right. You've got everything that you need to make a fantastic meal of your choice.
Okay. I'll
So,
figure that out after other people do their stuff.
all right.
Yankee pot roast.
Yes. Kadath, you head off to the library.
Yeah.
All right. Not a hard to find. You've been there before. You just perusing again, or are you gonna dig some
No,
more?
I want to dig. There's a few things I want to look for.
All right.
I want to see if I can find anything on the ancestry of her family, the
All right.
Vidrathi. See if I can find anything that might point to either Fey ancestry or some other reason for this natural ability to charm. I also want to look and see if there's any information about that, uh, for lack of a better word, space station.
Space station.
Exactly the word I had in my mind.
Uh,
What a damn.
platform up Platform in
Observatory.
space. Yes, the upside down observatory that's far too high to be useful for anything but looking down.
Right.
Some
Uh,
people do that anyway.
and then if I get time after those two things, then I'm gonna look up any information about like the creatures of the forest around here and see if there's anything about like the any stories about the history of them or odd creatures that have shown up before, anything
Okay.
like that.
Right. Roll me investigation and go ahead and roll that with advantage.
Okay.
Because you've
Fly
been
with the
researching
king
here before.
Uh,
of the
And this
22.
is mostly about Baadenu Forest and Ephraimon area.
22.
So 22. Alrighty. With a 22, you are going to find there is a book in here about Philolio. Philolio, the information you find on Philolio is pretty strictly reserved to what they did, not who they are, but what they did. And this book talks about the advancement of technology and magic, that the technology and magic that they advanced to, they were able to reach the stars. They call it the Sky Station. They built a Sky Station, and they basically said they were able to reach the stars. that it was dangerous and it drew attention, unwanted attention.
Does it say from who?
It does not say from who.
Does it say what age they did this during?
They did this during the Second Age.
It'd be from
Long
home.
time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, from whom?
From whom they do not have. But it did bring, it does say it brought unwanted attention and caused the destruction of many.
Okay.
And it goes on to later state that for these reasons, certain restrictions and laws have since taken place in the Baadenu forest to prevent that show or that display of magic and technology that would draw more unwanted attention.
Hmm.
So, let me write a note.
Well, by the way, are we splitting up that 6,000 between us or what?
Oh, probably. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't.
I would think so.
Okay, so 1,500 each.
1,500 each, yeah.
You find a book on just creatures of the Baadenu forest. A lot of these creatures you are fairly familiar with because there are forests in the Steadfast. Very common forest animals. It does mention the Juraskar in here, and it looks like a gigantic T-Rex, only more brightly colored.
Mhm.
It also mentions of a curse that was placed long ago. They believe probably about the Third Age, maybe into the Fourth Age, that a curse was placed upon the Baadenu forest that caused the mutation of some of the people there. They discovered that these people ended up being half animal, half man.
Rats.
They would become a little more feral. They didn't have as much intelligence per se, or they acted upon instinct as opposed to their wisdom or intelligence.
Mhm.
And it does talk about the biting curse, that if people got bit by one of those, there was a chance or a likelihood that they would also mutate.
So basically lycanthropy.
Right.
Okay. But it came from a curse of some sort? Did it say what the source of the curse was?
It does talk about that the curse was laid upon the forest by a deity.
Hmm.
They
I
believe that
wonder who that could be.
they believe it was
Somehow
Mahler.
I don't wonder so much.
They believe what?
They believe it was Mahler.
Guy who wrote the symphony?
Yeah,
That's
the guy who wrote the symphony.
isn't that Moeller?
Cursed
Oh,
us all. Or
It's a gorgeous
Malar.
piece of music.
I
Millar.
think it's Mahler. I think you put the L with the first syllable.
Oh, either way, it's the
Mahler.
one that I've been running across
Yes,
that
it's
there
the one you've been running across.
that seems to have been causing problems and suddenly disappeared, but then this other one appeared
Yep,
right about the same time.
about the same time. Um,
Not that
Now,
that's suspicious at all.
not at all. Now you start digging through some of the ancestries. You find ancestries there are all kinds of books on ancestry around here. You find them, a lot of them are kind of listed by surname, but there are a few books. You don't find one on Vidrathi that's separate, but there are a few books that have like ancients, like it's elders and ancients, kind of the title of it. And you kind of flip through it. You see several. You'll see some of the Olans listed. You'll see some of the um, others that you've heard listed. You
Olan
get to the
Mills.
section that you believe is the Vidrathi, or where the Vidrathi probably should be, and the pages are missing.
Interesting. Um, gonna use my earbud. Hey, Evangeline, do you have the ability to repair things magically? Or fix if you do?
Oh, dido.
Mm, why did you tear something?
Not me.
Oh,
Yes, I
then
have
why?
the spell. I have mending.
I found a book with pages torn out that I'm curious about.
Well, you'd need the pages for mending to work.
Oh, that's
What you're
true.
thinking of is, I believe, make whole. I think is
Know what
something.
it is? I know there's a spell that will do something of that nature.
Yeah, but it's higher level. I think it's
Is
like
that high
make
level?
whole or
Okay,
something.
bummer.
Let me put you on hold for a couple hours.
Oh,
Please hold.
Oh, that's funny.
You think you could get that spell?
I'm trying to find it.
I
um,
personally am going to the owl's nest to talk to the bartender about
like a
a
guy
certain
named
drink.
Ilanan. All right.
you can
And
have it delivered to the date.
and I'm going to ask him about somebody who is a higher level magic user.
Ah, well, if you do happen to run across somebody who might be able to do stuff like that, let me know. I'll set this. I'll make sure I know which book it is, but I'll keep looking through other stuff while I'm in the library, and I will still, look for any. I'll continue my search for any information, even trying to read between the lines, kind of thing, about those deities that I've been running across and whatnot.
Uh,
So
All right.
I'm sure I'm there for a long time.
Yes, and I will come back to you.
That's fine.
I can't
Um,
find the spell, unfortunately.
I know that there's one that's basically it's a restore something where it can actually bring back what is missing, but I can't remember the actual name of it. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be higher level.
it is a higher level. Evangeline, you head into the owl's nest. Ilanan is kind of waves hi to you. It's good to have you back. Glad no trouble befell you. At least I assume, since you're back and you look fine and healthy.
I'm fine.
Good,
I'm healthy.
good.
And so is everybody else.
That is good as well.
I'm in need.
I
I
will
have
be
a
of
couple of
assistance.
things.
What is it?
If you have not, as of yet, found any information on that drink.
Ugh. No. It's gotta be
Local.
regional. Uncle.
Local.
Oh, local. Yes, local.
Local. I will talk to him about is knowledge of somebody around the city who is maybe a higher level magic user that might possibly know the proper spell that Rhonda always gets the wrong one. Messaging.
Sending.
Sending. I can send a message and get a response.
That would probably be Joyve.
Joyve. Joyve.
Oy vey.
Joyve. Joyve is the one we tend to go to when magical needs arise. You can find her in the roots.
Well, I will secure a room for the night. Or I will
Or
secure
3, 4, 2.
I will secure 4 rooms for the night just in case. Just in case the date don't go well.
Or
Hey,
because it won't.
yeah, hey, or maybe because the date went really
Maybe
well.
because it went well.
Who knows? As long as
Uh,
he's in his own room.
so I found that spell.
Evangeline don't swing
Oh,
like that.
I found that spell for third edition and fourth edition and Pathfinder. It's not a fifth edition spell.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Mako.
make whole. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what an all is for.
And then I will head down to look for and seek out Joyve
Oy vey.
in the roots.
Joy vey.
Joyve. All right. You go down and you find in the roots there is a cavern in the roots of this tree. It's the central tree that the owl's nest is on. It is those roots. And you do go down and you find an older elf. You know she's older, although it's really more of the gray hair, and some very, very minute wrinkles, maybe around the eyes, across the forehead. Uh, she's older. Um, Looking older for an elf means that she's old. She will kind of look up. She's fooling around with some what looks to be maybe spell components of sorts, and she looks up and she's like, you are not from around here. What can I
No,
do for you?
I will reach into my pocket. and
Which one?
My vest pocket, the big one, and kind of whoosh out my spell book. Because I'm trying to mimic what I've seen. And I will tell her, I am in need of gaining some information. There is a tavern in the city of Garan
Okay.
that is called the Marchette.
I have heard of it.
It is owned by a set of cousins that all look very similar.
I have been there.
That's going to help a lot. They serve a drink there. It is called the Kiss. I am in need of that recipe. Do you think you could help me with a message? A sending spell.
Perhaps.
I can give you the recipe. No.
You're not here.
No, no, I'm saying that she's like, or I can give you the
Or
recipe.
I
Or
can
I can
give you the
give you the
recipe.
recipe.
No. She will tell you that the kiss is a new drink. It was not there when she was there. The cousins were still quite young when she was there last. Um, Interesting. I may have to return, see what they have been up to. You wish to know the recipe of this drink?
Yes.
Very well. Um, who would you like me to contact?
Well, you could probably contact Simple or Serene or Temperance or Tranquility. Do I remember maybe one of them being one of them more than another?
That she she will she will she will say probably will want to contact Serene.
Okay.
Says very well, and she will do her little thing and pull out some stuff. And after a moment, she says a little chant, and she contacts Serene. I don't know if it's verbal. I don't remember if it's telepathic or verbal. But she'll just ask, Serene, Mrs. Joyve, I have a friend here who would like to know how to make the kiss. It will be some time before she can return. After a moment, she'll get a response. She'll kind of smile, and she will look to you. She'll say, "The drink," she said, "varies depending on the season. As of right now, they are preparing the kiss with whiskey, bourbon, whiskey. I don't know.
Bourbon's type of whiskey.
Whiskey, uh, cider, and bitters. Um, and of course, add some cinnamon," she said.
Sounds tasty.
And of course, for it to actually be the kiss, you have to serve it with a kiss. Otherwise, it's just a drink.
I thank her.
Are you planning on serving it?
And when I return to Guron, I will pay her.
Right.
I think Fix paid for enough of those drinks. Oh,
And while I'm
Pay for quite a few.
while I'm here, I will ask her if she knows any spell that can mend or repair something that has a part missing.
Oh, I don't. Not right offhand, no. However, I do try my hand at spellcraft. Perhaps I can maybe come up with one. It will take some time though. I don't know how soon do you might need this?
Uh, as soon as we could, it would be nice, but it's not like it's a matter of life or death to me.
Well, that is
hell,
good.
she might know what's in the missing pages.
It's possible.
Malar?
Malar?
What was it?
Mahler?
Oh, no, that's not what we're looking up. We're looking up,
No,
The
it's about
Vidrathi family.
it's about the Vidrathi family.
you know anything about the Vidrathi family?
Their genealogy specifically is what I'm looking for.
Specifically, genealogy. Yeah.
Zybella is the last of the Vidrathi. Her parents tragically died in a hunting accident with a Juraskar. Her grandparents died of disease that swept through Ephraimon some time ago. Took out several. That was a sad time. Before that, I'm sure she had ancients and elders and that lived in Philolio and probably traveled here to Ephraimon when Philolio was destroyed. But I don't know. I knew her grandparents. It was very sad.
Well, I appreciate the information. What do I owe you for your time?
Oh.
And for your work?
The sending spell is 5 gold. That's easy enough. And I will work on the spell when I am able to complete a spell of that nature. I will discuss payment for that at that time. I don't know how much work is going to go into that.
I'll hand her the 5 gold for the sending and an additional 5 gold just to get her started.
Much appreciated.
I will introduce myself as Evangeline Forge.
Also
I'm
known as
currently
Alf.
staying at the Owl's Nest.
All right. Excellent.
And I will depart her company and head back to the Owl's Nest.
All right. I'm working on. All right. You head off back to the Owl's Nest. Forsyth,
See,
what are you doing?
sitting here. Actually, I'm going to do the best I can to take the form of one of the locals, make myself appear as if I belong, and I'm going to go sit in one of the busier taverns in an upscale neighborhood or
Okay.
area,
All right.
and nurse a drink while I listen in to whatever conversations I can hear near me.
All right. You will find a fourth tree known as the living tree.
People
And
are dying to get there.
up in the living tree, you will find a tavern there.
Okay.
And you will be able to sit and drink. They have some wonderful meads, ciders, and wines. Most of which you've never tasted the like of before. Very unique here. And definitely has more of an earthy, woodsy flavor to them. And you're gonna sit and watch, and some music will play, and you are gonna begin to listen in to some of the conversations that are going on around you.
Okay.
With that,
Do you
we're
want
gonna
to take a
take a
break?
break.
That sounds good.
Because I need to take a break.
And we shall be back, folks.
We'll be right back.
To these messages. keep it with my chips, but yeah.
We are
Alright.
back.
Awesome. We're back.
Da-da-da.
Forsyth, in the tavern, you just hear chatter about various things.
The rat people are here.
You
You hear chitter.
hear chitter. You hear just various things. Some people talking about the entertainment, some people talking about crop yield, some people talking about just various things. You are muted still.
Sorry, just singing an old song.
Oh. But one thing that does kind of stand out to you, you do hear a couple of people talking about a pyre being built. And they kind of are chatting about who died. Because they're like, do you know who died? I don't know who died. I don't know why a pyre is being built. But you hear some chatter about a pyre being built outside of the city.
Okay.
Other than that, all is pretty calm. There's not a whole lot of things going on there.
All right.
Kadath, in digging
Mhm.
through some books, you find a book. You barely spot it. I'm giving it to you with your investigation check there. You barely spot it, but behind some of these other books is a smaller, very thin book. It looks like it got pushed off of a shelf and fell and got all behind everything. You pull it up and you see in there some a familiar title.
Okay.
The title is Those They Missed.
Interesting. Why is it familiar?
Because last week you found one that said Those They Missed, but it seemed to only be about Malar.
Oh.
Or Mahler. Can never say his name.
Well, but this seems to be a different book, right?
This seems to be a different book.
I'll start reading it.
All right. You're going to start reading it. You are going to find some information about Mahler that you are already aware of. But you also see a few other gods in there that you really haven't, well, 3 of which you've never heard of. There's Ilsenine in there, and you kind of read about Ilsenine. It seems to be a god of an Underdark, and it seems to be for creatures that this book is calling I don't know which term I want to use. Illithid. Let's go with Illithid. Which you've never heard of these creatures or this god before. You also find information on Grumsh, which seems to be a god of orcs, which you've heard of orcs as being, mutants that live in the beyond, in the northern part of the Black Riage Mountains. This seems to be a god of orcs. You also read about a god, Sikola. I don't think I'm saying that right, but Sikola.
I had the same thought.
Me too.
Pretty sure I'm not saying that right. But let me see if I can. I know.
Oh.
Right? Let me see if I can say it correctly. Oh, there it is. No, I am saying it right. Sikola.
Okay.
That seems to be a god of of water folk, like finned humanoids known as Sahagan.
Hmm.
You've never heard of them. They are also mentioned in the divided seas. It says that they're in the divided seas. And then you also, a god that you have heard of, is Bishaba, is mentioned in here, which is it's a human god. Um, she is a goddess of misfortune.
Okay.
So, um, so yeah, you kind of read about, and when those things kind of come up, I'll bring it up to you.
Right.
But those 5 gods are mentioned in here. Ilsanine seems to be the southern Black Riage. Groupsh seems to be the northern Black Riage. Sekola is or Sekola, I guess the accent's on the first syllable, seems to be in the divided seas. And then Bishaba seems to be on the eastern side of the steadfast. They talk about her taking the river.
Which river? There's a lot of them.
The River Weir.
Oh, that's the one that's on the northern side of Thamor.
Isn't that the river that we went down into to get to Saji?
Yeah, well, it's the one that Key is on the end of.
Yeah.
And the river Septum is the one that goes into it from Thrice.
Right.
Where's the divided seas though? Is that the two?
The divided seas are in the southeastern portion of the map, of which you know.
Okay, so
There is
there,
Saray,
yeah.
Marika,
Okay, those two there.
and Neve.
Okay. And now, how does this compare to the information I found in the other book with the same name?
This is a thinner book, and there's less information on each of these gods than the other one. And the other one was strictly focused on Malar.
Okay.
I'll say it right eventually. Yeah, the other one is just Malar. It seems to not touch any of these other gods.
Hmm.
And Malar is listed very briefly in this book.
Is there any new information, or is it all stuff I've already read?
Yeah.
Looking at, I'll pull out the other one so I can compare them side by side.
Okay.
Does one seem to be older than the other, like writing style,
No, they seem to be
whatnot, or they both about the same age?
They're about the same age.
Okay. And it doesn't seem to have like volume 1, volume 2 kind of thing. Well, I'll return the one to the shelf, and I'll put the other one with it. I'll put it right next to it. It seems like that's where it should go.
Based on the Dewey Decimal System. All right. Okay. Evangeline, you left. You head back to the tavern.
Yes.
Okay. And you work with Elanan to make the kiss?
Yes.
All right. He will pull up together a few concoctions and have you taste them all. to decide which one you like best, or what is sweetest, or whatever. What seems the most similar?
I picked the one that has the most spicy.
Okay.
Because I think it seems appropriate.
All right.
Are
All
you
right.
going to deliver 2 glasses to the location of the date?
In the meantime, while all of this is taking
You
place,
didn't invite me on the date.
No, it's special delivery.
um,
No, my special delivery is once I've cleared that up, I go to the library and share what little information that I've found and what I've asked the, you know,
So I did think of a
the
spell
magic
that would
user.
work.
yes.
Wish.
Well,
Oh, that's
yeah,
true. Wish would
That's
work.
true.
but that's
Do wish it.
a very high level spell.
Hey, that's the one I thought of.
And the when I was looking it up just a little bit ago, the comparison I was seeing was, it's like fishing with dynamite.
Kinda.
But it would work.
Yeah, if you go beyond the items that are like you can wish for these and not have any issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um. All right. In the meantime, Fix, you are cooking a meal. You will eventually get a message from Zybella, in essence, through the connection. Um, she will ask you, when and where.
Uh, I will tell her of the place that Jurek set up for us, and in 30 minutes,
Got it.
that's time for the meal to finish and to throw on and hop in the shower real quick and get. We've been trekking through or prestidigitation, I guess, is the same thing.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
All right.
I will change out of my armor into more casual, formal clothes, like just looking
Okay.
nice.
All right. Not ready for necessarily to battle somebody.
Right.
All right. Got it. All right. After a bit of time, about a half an hour passes, you will see her come into the area. She's wearing a simple green gown, um, probably trimmed with gold. She's wearing some very simple gold jewelry. Her hair's pulled back. You can tell that she is simple. She doesn't even being part of the council and whatnot. You've seen others in the town of higher stature having more elaborate dress and jewelry and stuff, but she is simple. She's
Elegant.
Yeah, she just doesn't go for that.
Yeah.
Um, but she will walk up and she will walk in. And she will tell you it smells nice.
He'll smile and he'll greet her. Um, you look really nice.
Say you as well.
Well, thank you. And I'll lead her over the table and you know pull out her chair and all the gentlemanly uh, things that one must do, and then bring the first course to the table and and sit down and start conversing and doing this whole dating thing that I've never done before.
All right. Well, starting off nice. Um,
Captain
at
Fix.
Yeah, as she is eating, um, she will let you know that the pyre should be ready probably after dinner.
Hmm.
Um,
Why are
and
there why are they so keen to have it done and done outside of the city.
It is, I believe it to be based on a honor system. If it were done within the city, the whole town would be here. Um, and it's a sign of high honor. Whereas outside of the city, the job will get done and the town is more or less none the wiser.
That seems a little underhanded.
Perhaps.
Did your do you know of your ancestors' rule?
I know nothing of the sort. My grandparents died before I was born. My parents died shortly after I was born. I was essentially raised by Farvin. Farvin has been the only guardian, father figure that I have
Hmm,
known.
interesting.
I smell intrigue.
Do you trust him?
I mean, he has kept me safe.
That being safe and being trustworthy, two different things.
Well, to be fair, the first time I caught a sense that he was withholding something from me is when you returned.
Perhaps because he made it so that you questioned nothing. You
Perhaps.
have no information on your family,
I do not.
so why would he be concerned until some unscrupulous outsider brought questions?
Fair point. None would have dared brought it up before. Or I've never heard it brought up before, I guess I should say.
Yeah. Hmm.
But he has. I have to assume that this Alarian is indeed an ancestor of mine, as burial rites for the elder elves do require kin to light the pyre.
Yes. I have no doubt that he is of your, or are of his line. I just don't understand why he was not simply killed and was instead made to starve. Why why the secrets and the obfuscation of history?
I would not know.
Don't you think you
Unless,
should? Don't you
I
think you have a
mean,
right to? It is your blood.
it is my blood. I probably should know. But if he was a ruler before, Farvin said he was not good. He was not a good ruler.
How
At
would
least he
one know?
said as much.
All we have to know to go on is Farvin's word.
This is true. Perhaps,
The mere
perhaps
mention of your family has been torn out of the history books, quite literally.
she seems a little taken back on that. I was unaware of that. Perhaps he fears that I will claim what was once my family's.
Perhaps. Or perhaps he fears that the truth will be found, and perhaps it will not shed good light on him or his ancestral line.
Is a possibility.
How old is he?
Old enough? Well, perhaps old enough. Old enough to know my grandparents. He survived the disease that ravaged the village, or so
What,
I've been told.
what was this disease?
It was an incurable flesh-eating disease.
Hmm.
Uh, it just
And it just
ravaged.
disappeared?
Well, from what I understand through the history, they quarantined in essence those that were affected and stopped the spread
Hmm.
in that regards. Um, but it's really only, from what I've heard, you could only catch it if you actually were touching someone who was infected with this disease. I don't know that much about it. It happened before I was born.
And they don't teach you the details in the histories.
No.
Hmm.
Only to be leery of the signs of this disease.
Which are?
Um, wounds that won't heal, um, sores that stay open, uh, usually in ring form. They look like circles.
Does this sound like any disease that I've heard of as a cleric?
Ringworm.
Well,
Worm!
yeah.
I mean, it has some similarities to some diseases, but none of them like being like, oh, that's this.
Interesting. Well, I hate to ruin our dinner with this conversation, so tell me about yourself.
Um, Cybella will go into a very brief. She will let you know that she has never left this town. Um, and as a matter of fact, she rarely leaves Farvan's side. Um, everything that she's learned, she has been taught by the council. Farvan, Lucas, Ginlin, and even Ferona. Did I say Ferona was her name?
Question. Your gift, have they ever asked you to use it for the council?
They did once.
For what, if I might ask?
There was one individual who is no longer in town, that was causing a stir. Creating chaos where it was unnecessary. I asked him to leave.
At their behest.
At their behest.
I'm sorry they did that to you.
Well, it has been much more peaceful since they've gone.
Uh, they speak of the ills of your ancestors doing the exact same thing and then ask you to do it, but just for their benefit.
Well, this is true. But it was for the benefit of the town.
I bet your ancestors said the exact same thing.
Perhaps.
Do you want to have the pyre outside of town, or do you wish to honor your ancestors within the town?
I will have the pyre outside of town. I mean, it is already built.
It can be rebuilt.
True. But I feel that I should honor the wishes of Farvin on this,
To not cause a ruckus?
to not cause a ruckus.
Hmm. Very well. And I'm figuring that at this point we finished the first, the main course. I'd go and grab the dessert that was made and finish the conversation more not so serious.
Oh yeah. She will share with you some of her favorite things. She enjoys the treetops. Um, when she does get time alone or away from Farvin, she does travel in the treetops around the city,
Hmm.
often without using the bridges.
Oh,
She jumps from limb to limb. She enjoys
the danger.
the danger.
You said you've never left this town.
I have not.
Do you wish to?
Perhaps
Hmm.
one day.
Hmm. Perhaps I will invite you to Key one day.
She will be intrigued by that. She will tell you that she's never heard of Key.
I would, I'd describe it and tell her of the weird ancient siblings,
Weird ancient siblings.
Yeah, his
the
family.
the mm, the fortune teller and the
Oh,
teleporter.
okay. Okay, those two. Yeah, the weird ancient siblings. Yeah, yeah. Okay, now I get it. They are kind of weird.
Mine was funnier.
Oh, you mentioned the fortune teller,
Hmm.
and she says, "Oh," she says, "I've heard of the Order of the Third Eye. Is she a member?"
I don't know that I've heard of that order. Have we? No, I've never
Not
heard.
yet.
I'm not aware of that. What is the Order of the Third Eye?
Oh, the Order of the Third Eye is a group of seers. They They can tell fortunes. They can see into futures. Sometimes they see into pasts. Um, every now and then, someone from the Order of the Third Eye will come to Ephraimon. They often say Ephraimon is a place of almost cleansing. Cleanses the palate, per se, of the fates.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I never really asked. They just see less here, I guess. Or maybe there's fewer people and nobody wanting of their time. Eh, most elves don't really care to know about their future or their past. They figure if they don't know it and it doesn't pertain to right now, there's no need for it.
Hmm. But aren't there other elven encampments? Would they
Well,
not serve the same purpose?
there are a few here in the Ba Denu forest. I do not know outside of the forest.
Hmm.
But Ephraimon is the largest city in the forest, and we have most amenities that any city could provide, whereas some of the others are more rustic.
Hmm. Interesting. I will have to ask her the next time I see her.
Ooh, perhaps she can lead you to others of the order.
Perhaps. Tell you what, after I figure we're right about at the end of dessert or whatever. Why don't you show me these treetops?
I'll look you over. Do you think you can jump that far?
Oh, I can jump.
All right. She gets a little mischievous grin.
And I am thankful for these boots.
Cheater.
The cheater. Yeah.
Hope he can't jump as
Afterwards,
far as me.
um, she will uh, she will let you know that perhaps we should take care of the burial. Um, and then I will show you the treetops.
Very well. I'd stand and I'd offer my hand so that we can head out, and I'd send a message over the link that we're gonna head to the pyre.
All right. Um, she will take your hand and she will allow you to lead her down. And she will kind of direct you to where the pyre is.
Yeah.
Uh, do the rest of you join? Well, Kadeth, you kind of have to. You have to bring the bones.
Yeah, I was planning on going whenever it's time.
And unless
Oh
she
yeah.
pulls away, he would continue to hold her hand.
Oh yeah, no, she'll let you hold.
Forsyth picking up no rumors in the mill will join the rest.
All right. When you reach the pyre, she will ask for the bones. She will then drop hands because she's got to do what she's got to do. Um,
Obviously.
she will ask for the bones. She will lay out the bones, very in a kind of make the human skeleton again, on
Right.
top of the pyre. She will then take a torch that is already lit and kind of just sitting off to the side, and it's just kind of been burning there. Um, she will take the torch and she will look around a little bit and see only you guys are there. Like nobody else has come in from the town. Like Farvin's not there, Ginlin's not there. Like nobody else is there. And she looks around She sees that nobody's there, and she speaks. Again, the tinkling sound does come, uh, but she says, yeah, to the earth we lay to rest. Elarian, Vidrathi, accept his bones for eternity, or accept his ashes is probably what she'll say, for eternity. And she will light the pyre, wait for the flame to catch real good, and then she'll kind of toss the torch on top to where it kind of just lays on the body. And she'll just step back and she'll just watch it burn for a while. Probably a
So
good
she's a pyro. Oh no.
20 minutes. Yeah, just pyro. Just watch it burn. Burn it all. After about 20 minutes or so, she will turn around and she will nod to each of you, um, as a thank you. And telepathically, she will ask you, Fix, to the trees.
To the trees.
All right. And she
Can I
will
come
lead you
along?
to the treetops. You want to come to the treetops? You could do it. You could change
I
shape
know.
and do it.
Baboon.
You know, if worse comes to worse, I can fly.
That's true. Ah.
Giant eagle.
All right. Well, she will lead you to the treetops. Do you have night vision?
Oh, I have dark vision.
Dark vision? Okay. All right. I guess night vision and dark vision would be different, technically speaking. Um, you do have dark vision, so yeah. So it's not too much trouble, especially with your boots, to be able to jump some of the distances. You see very quickly that she definitely has a pattern that she follows through these treetops. There are some vines that are hanging that she swings on. She runs very easily down several of the branches and whatnot. Um, for your jumping wise, that's not a problem. However, your balance, roll me a dexterity check.
Oh, yay. My plus 0. Woo hoo. All right, let's see.
This is why I'm better at that.
Yeah, but it's not your date.
I know.
Uh, I'm going to actually use inspiration on that one. I rolled an 8, and I don't want an 8.
Not gonna fall, dang it.
I will take a 19 instead.
All right. You hit a few. That's, you have to kind of catch your balance, grab the trunk, grab a nearby branch or whatever. But you do manage to not fall, and you do manage to keep up fairly easily. Um, Easily enough that she's rather impressed that one of your stature can keep up with her. Your short
Not.
legs. So, yeah.
We weren't going there.
She is
I
rather
didn't
impressed.
do it. I didn't say it.
Don't
So,
want no
um,
short.
the evening comes to a close. She thanks you for a very lovely evening, and thanks you for the support with the pyre. And she has much to think about when it comes to Farvan.
Does your ability to communicate have a limited distance?
It does.
Hmm. Well, if you need anything, find a way to get a hold of me.
Oh, I imagine I could ask Jorve.
And we'll do what I can to help. Thank you for the date.
They will give you a nod and depart.
If she seems open to it, he would like take her hand and kiss her hand as a farewell,
Oh, she would
rather
be
than just like a nod and like thanks, bye. Like,
yeah, she would be accepting of that. That is an etiquette that you have found is pretty much good for most cultures.
and then I would go to my room
All right.
and I would tell them that Farvan is creating a weapon that has the abilities that he just tested and possibly had murdered, or someone of his line had murdered.
He's very far gone.
Fix comes into the tavern, lets you know what's going on, heads up to the room. What
I
do you
will
do for the
stop
evening?
him. Hey, wait a minute, Fix. Come down here.
I will follow.
Oh, I'll take him in to the bar. I have something for you. So we'll go to. I turned my page. The barkeep.
Ilanan.
That's the one. And grab the glass. And I will say, here, this is for you. And I'll turn around to walk away and I'll go, oh, wait a minute. I forgot something. I'll plant one on him. And I'll turn around and walk away. Oh, I know how much you like them, and I have the recipe in my room.
Uh, um, oh,
Oh,
well, takes a drink, takes a much bigger drink.
It is magnifique. And it tastes like the kiss.
That, all right. Well then.
Now you can get it anywhere you want.
True.
You might want to check out the barkeep first before you order it, though.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. The evening is yours. I mean, it's nighttime by the time Fix walks in. I mean, it's I don't know 9, 10 o'clock after running around in the trees for a while. Um, is there anything you wish to do for the evening?
Fix will stay up all night forging. Oh,
Probably. Forging and
We
and I'll.
plotting.
plotting with each hammer blow. He's getting he's getting progressively aggressive.
I will pull out all my little parts and start tinkering. And then I'll stop and I'll go knock on Fix's door.
Oh, I'll say come in. The door's probably unlocked at this point.
I'll let you in.
What's that?
I don't think there's something quite right in this town.
Neither do I. What do you think it is?
There's a lot of suspicious stuff surrounding Isabella.
Suspicious thefts? You mean of information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that all of her ancestors died like weird?
Yeah. You also know that she's rarely let out of the sight of Farvan. Farvan, whatever his name is.
Orphan.
And he does
Art,
all of
yeah.
her talking.
He does. And they've also, he and the council have also asked her to use her voice to make somebody leave town who was causing trouble.
I thought they didn't like that.
They don't like it when other people can do it that they don't control. But hopefully I have planted a seed of doubt within that control that they have.
I do have, or I have asked Oy vey
Hmm.
to see if she can create a spell that might fix the book that Kadeth was looking at.
What makes us think that we can trust Joyve?
I don't know that we do, but I think it's better that they think that we do.
True. How badly do we want to put this town into chaos? Oh, I need to roll for that.
Hmm.
I rolled a 1. We know
Well,
people
your
that
mother,
specialize in
your
chaos.
your mom's pretty good at that.
Mm, that she is. Forsyth, can you come to my quarters, please?
Sure, why not? I'll head there.
Doesn't take long.
Have you found any indication of those of your proclivities?
I haven't really searched for any, but I can find them really quick.
I'm just wondering if there's a jagged presence here.
I'm sure we could find out that information rather quickly.
All right.
But there might be a
Um,
cost.
We have money.
I know. I have money.
do you go digging?
Money isn't always what they want.
Not always.
Well, we'll see what the cost is, but I think that I would like to know this before deciding on our next step.
No problem. I will take a trip into the streets.
All
Many
right.
thanks.
You
And
go gallivanting into the
hey,
streets. I'm gonna
Kadeth,
need.
I know which streets to go into too.
Yeah.
What's up?
I recognize them.
have you found out any additional information on this Malar or even this Fallgreen character?
I don't know. Have I beyond that one book? No, no, nothing significant. There was a book named the same as one of the ones where I got a lot of the information about Malar, but it had information about a bunch of different gods instead, and it was a different book.
Very interesting.
Is
I
his last
find
name
it
Peta?
very strange
I find
after
a lot of things strange in this town and especially this library.
knowing you and knowing Fix and the way you speak of your gods. This town seems to know nothing about theirs. Not really.
No, and I've been growing in my suspicions that all may not be as it seems, and they don't even realize it. Or most of them don't realize it.
I fear that if in the swamp Val Sharoon was attempting to manifest, and we have some gods that we have very little information on from the city. Could this city possibly be based in something not quite copacetic?
I've had suspicions that are similar. Basically, that the fall green is what used to be Malar.
I've had the same thought.
Because based on the timing of things I've read, it seems like Malar began disappearing as the fall green was appearing, but there wasn't necessarily any interaction between the two. Because something
So,
like that should have shown up in history books somewhere.
do you believe that Malars became the Fogreen and changed their ways, or that found a new way to sap their whatever he wanted from them?
I think it was more that changed and found new ways to stay in control
Hmm.
and get whatever it is he wanted out of it. But I haven't been able to confirm that because much of the history that should be there is missing.
How do you think the orb got there?
What orb got where?
Good question.
The Valsharun orb.
Oh, got under key?
No, in the swamp.
One in the swamp.
Oh, the black stone.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
black stone. It was
Oh,
essentially an onyx.
Okay.
yeah.
I would guess somebody placed it there.
But either it was recent or proximity activated it. And I'm not sure which.
Proximity of what? The what Evangeline carries?
Maybe.
But
Except
this
that's in a bag
is
of holding, so
it's on another
shouldn't.
plane.
Right.
Maybe it was just the proximity of us.
Perhaps, but this is something they said has been happening for a while.
For a while before we got here.
But it seems to have been getting worse just as we were getting to it.
And maybe because it sensed us coming to try to stop it?
Maybe. Maybe there was a level of urgency that came about.
Hmm.
I know
I
that
wish.
you are. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I know you both are followers of gods,
Yes.
but Why do you think gods are all of a sudden reappearing?
Well, part of it may be that they have enough followers for that to be possible again. Because really, without followers, most of them don't have any power in the real world.
Or perhaps it's a culmination of something that is driving their urgency.
Yeah, there does seem to be something coming, and maybe that's part of what is driving it,
Perhaps it is Volsharoon coming.
or at least driving the timing of it. I can
I really
attempt to
don't.
get answers from the Raven
Volsharoon.
Queen, but
You
we
really don't
know,
want it?
I really do not want to see Valsharoon. I've experienced that damage once already.
yeah, unfortunately, that may not be up to us. I can attempt to get answers from the Raven Queen, but we know how that can go.
If you can. I have asked Forsyth to see if there's a jagged presence in this town.
Let
And
me
What
I've
was that?
gone
spend some
searching.
time. In fact, I'll go ahead and start go out into the forest away from the city a little bit and find like a little quiet glade or something like that.
Okay.
And I'll pull out the sword, lay it in front of me and start praying to the Raven Queen.
Right. I will come back to you in just a moment.
Okay.
Forsyth,
See,
as you start roaming around the town, kind of looking for the signs, going through between trees and roots and etc. that you would, as cities are laid out and whatnot. These are the streets and whatnot that you would expect to find something. You do find a symbol that is
oh, it's not thimble.
not a thimble, a symbol um, that you recognize as a thieves' cant for directional. Um,
Right.
you begin to follow those directions, and you make it to the root of the central tree. As you make it to the roots of the central tree, you see a woman carrying a bundle. It's a baby um, that walks in to the central tree just before you. Um, do you wish to be stealthy?
Probably, just
Okay,
in case.
go ahead and roll me your stealth.
13.
Seriously, that's really bad roll for you.
Yeah, well, my stealth's only +8.
Oh, I was thinking your stealth was like a +10.
Oh,
No,
sleight of
sleight of
hand.
hand is
Oh, your sleight of
+12.
hand is okay.
Yeah. See, I don't mind if they see me. I just don't want them to know what I'm doing.
All right. Um, you kind of walk. The the woman who's carrying what appears to be a wrapped up child, an infant most likely, walks in, and you see an elder woman dressed in robes. Um, definitely a mage of sorts. Uh, she throws another like scarf almost over top of her that kind of reminds you of some vestments and stuff that you've seen like in the temples where Kadeth is, or with some of the Order of Truth and whatnot. Um, it looks like she's preparing to do some kind of rite. Um, you're gonna overhear the woman speaking, the two women speaking. the mother of the child and the mage. Um, the mother of the child asks the mage, um, "Are you sure this is going to work?" And the mage says, "Have trust in me. It will work." Um, the mage pulls up a bag. It almost looks like a wineskin of sorts. And she kind of tucks it just into her robe where it's not necessarily seen. And then she motions for the woman and the infant to head out. Um, as they start to head out, you get the sense that the mage uh, senses your presence. She knows that you're there, but they're walking out. Um, do you follow them, or do you go into the roots? What's your choice of action?
I'm going to follow them.
Okay. All right. The mother seems to be completely unaware of your presence, but the mage kind of has the idea that you're there and that you're following. They walk to another set of roots where you see the statue of what looks like the fall green, and there's a basin there.
I'm going to actually hold up a gold piece, show it to the maid,
The mage.
indicating to her that, if nothing's said, this is yours.
All right. Nod. And she'll walk the woman over to the basin. You see the mother. She's crying. Um, she's already crying, and she lays the infant down in the basin. And you see the mage, like, pull out a knife. She says, like a ritual, to the fall green we offer this sacrifice, blah 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 blah. And she plunges the knife down. Um, let's see. Roll me your perception. That was so good.
Okay. 15.
15. Okay. Uh, you don't see what she does. But you see her plunge the knife down, and all of a sudden there's all this blood, like in the basin. And she turns and she looks at the mother. She lays a hand on her shoulder, and she says, all will be well. Blessing of the fall green be with you." And she kind of leads her she kind of turns her around and kind of pushes her to go on her way.
Interesting.
She then goes to the basin. You see her go to the basin. She then picks up the infant. Um, then you see her with the wineskin. You see she picks up a wineskin again.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the wineskin. She tucks it back into her thing, and she walks back to the roots.
Okay. Curious. I'm going to continue to follow which one to follow? For now, I'm going to actually follow the baby.
Follow the mage with the infant back to the roots.
Yes.
She walks back into the roots, which is where the thieves' cant had guided you before. She
Right.
walks in there. She walks deep in there, and you're gonna hear a door and whatnot. Um, she doesn't say anything.
Okay. I am going to move to the side and start making subtle inquiries about whatever Fix wanted.
Well, if you move inside, you find that there is only one door in there. Do you want to open it? Do you want to knock?
I'm going to check it for traps and then open it.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
I rolled a 5.
You find no traps.
I'll open the door.
All right, you open the door. Thankfully, it is actually not trapped.
You ever have one of those days?
Hmm.
I have one of those lives.
Oh dear. You open the door. It's not locked. You open the door and you see the mage there. She seems to be cleaning the infant. You see the infant's moving, like it's awake. It's a little, I don't know, baby girl, and she's cleaning off the infant. Um, and she's muttering to herself. You kind of recognize the mutter that it's some kind of sending spell or message or something. Um, and once she gets the infant all cleaned up, she wraps up the infant. She kind of looks at you and she says, "Give me one moment and I'll be right with you." As she turns around, she says another incantation, which you recognize because you've done this several times. It's a teleportation. She lays the infant down, and you see the light from the teleportation, and the infant is gone. She turns around and she says, "What can I do for you?"
Well, now you have me curious. I was looking for information on whatever it was Fix.
It was just
What?
sent to see if they had a thieves guild. Well, it was
Yeah,
that was
But you
it.
stumble on a
Yeah.
whole lot more.
You
yeah.
stumbled on a whole lot more.
Yeah, I was looking for information on the local Thieves Guild as I have been a longtime member of Thrice Guild and the underground there, but now you have me curious as to where the child might have gone to.
Oh, I sent the child to a colleague of mine, um, to be placed in a loving home.
Okay. Um, it just seemed a little bit strange to send a child off like that, but I've seen stranger things in this world as I've traveled. But
Strange things out there.
yes, there are many strange things out there. Some things out there I would not want to get entangled with, but for now, we'll just say yes, there are indeed strange things in this world.
Looking at the extent of the Thieves Guild here. Um, though I myself is not of the skill level of probably those acquaintances you have in Thrice, um, I have mostly worked on my all cards on the table. I work on my sleight of hand for things such as you've just witnessed.
Sleight of hand is, I'll call it my expertise. Making things disappear from other people's pockets and appear in mine.
Yeah. No, I don't use it for my own benefit, but to aid
I did
those
it,
who are called upon.
I learned it for my own survival.
Yes, and I have honed mine for the survival of others.
Right.
So many
And that
questions
kind
if
of
I was
thing.
there.
Yeah.
That
That's you,
makes two
not
of
me.
us.
I've learned to actually enjoy taking things because I generally don't take things from people who can't afford to have it missing. But I have other expertise that come to play if something goes awry and my hand gets caught on something.
It's always good to have a plan B.
Yes. But shall we say it's rather enjoyable for me, not necessarily for the upper class, but then they can always buy something else.
They could. Is there a need for Thieves Guild?
I believe there might be, but the need is that of a compatriot of mine. I was merely searching for the presence and relaying information to him. And so I will arrange a meeting on a neutral ground.
Oh, you're more than welcome to come here. Many people seek my aid in many ways. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Joyve.
Jose, my name is Forsyth.
Guess we answered
Well,
that trust question.
Yep.
I trust thieves. What
She's
can
not
I
a
say?
thief, though.
What? I missed it. I had to let the cat out of the room.
Oh no.
Oh. Forsyth is talking to Joyve.
Oh,
Well, welcome to come here. Many seek my need, my aid. Um, it would not be untoward for anybody to come to my door. Would not arouse
I
any
will.
kind of suspicion.
I will immediately let my friend know, and I will immediately let him know.
Do you tell us of what you saw with the child?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the whole scoop. Weird things going on here.
Thinking about it, have we seen any children here?
I think I'm out of range.
We can relay it.
Yeah, you can be relayed to.
Right.
Have you seen? You have seen children here. There are a few infants. There are a few older kids. They seem to be like 3 or 4 of varying age levels, like 3 or 4 infant to 3 or 4, you know, 3 to 5, 3 or 4, 6 to 12. Like they seem to almost be in range increments.
As if
I
only a
still,
percentage are there.
Almost.
I still have my link.
Yeah, for 24 hours. You have it
Yeah,
until
or
noon the
until.
next day
Yeah.
ish.
Um, I will mentally kind of like see if she's still awake.
Yeah, she's still awake.
What does your what does your God demand of children?
There are sacrifices that are made. my understanding, they are made to extend one's life.
So the parents sacrifice the child to extend their life?
That is my understanding.
Evangeline is still in the room with him, right? In
Evangeline
his
in the room with you
with
probably,
Fix, right?
unless, unless she chose to go out.
Yeah, just making sure. Like you see his knuckles start to get white on his hammer. And he's just like, okay.
Of
Pounding
the
the
few
oblivion to
children that
oblivion.
we are now thinking about and recalling seeing, we recall seeing or recall, are they of
Nobility.
higher class? Yes, yeah.
The majority of them are of the higher class.
Told you something weird's going on here.
Something's happened.
Going on.
I will relay what I find out and also say I have quite the inclination to burn this place to the ground, so let's find a more level-headed approach.
As Kadeth gets answers.
Yes.
I don't know.
Perhaps speaking with your mother might not be a bad idea.
Hmm.
I can't
Oh,
believe I'm saying this.
we could turn their own weapon against them, perhaps. She believes that they are doing this to extend life. If she knew that they were simply being shipped off to other homes, and that this was some ploy, perhaps she uses her voice to tell them to never do so again.
There could be
Interesting way
another
of looking
side to
at it.
this coin.
What's that?
Perhaps they believe they are making the sacrifice. There's always a possibility. Why do I want to see good in people? Perhaps Joyve is saving the children from the sacrifice.
Well, she is, but I think that she's just selling them.
Do you think she's just selling them and not protecting them?
She's protecting them from death. I guess somebody could be actually thinking that they're being killed. Fervon or Farfennuken or whatever his name is.
Nukin?
I
Sounds
think
like
we
a
need to.
candy bar.
I
Far
think we
from
need to.
nougat.
I think we need to rest till I can contact my mother again. And
I
then
would
we.
like to I would like to go see her before we leave the city.
Who, Joyve?
Yes.
Oh, I don't plan to leave for a few more days at least. There's too many questions to be answered. But if my mother wishes to come here with her
Entourage.
steed,
But tonight we rest.
Kadeth.
Mm-hmm.
In the forest. You get a cool breeze. and the familiar breath from when you went through the blood pool.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for a minute before I say anything. But if I don't get anything first, I'll say, is the fall green the same entity as Malar?
The Raven Queen Are these yes and no questions?
I don't think they have to be with a prayer.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to think. She will say, he has attempted to hide, but yes.
I knew it. Do the elders in the city, or some of them, know this already?
Some are wizened,
Some are Weisenheimers.
others are blinded.
Is
That
there
sounds like
any
a
we
yes.
can trust?
She will say, no, she will just whisper as she kind of disappears. She will whisper Joyve.
Okay. I'm gonna get up and head back into the city then and find. Well, I'll go back to the rooms, and if everyone's not there, then I'll tell Forsyth over the earpiece. But if he's not there, but otherwise, I'm not gonna say anything till I get back in there. But I'll tell them, yes. So my suspicion was confirmed that the fall green is Malar. They're trying to hide it. And it seems that some in the council may know or have figured it out, and others are foolish. Some of those who figured it out may be foolish,
If they continue, then they very much are.
but we can trust Joyve.
Hmm. Well then. If we can trust her, then shall we go see her tonight, rather than waiting?
I think that would be a good idea.
Nick at night.
Nick at night. Joyve at night. All right. As you guys gather yourselves together, you inform Forsyth that you're going to come over to Joyve's
Right.
this evening at like 11 o'clock at night. And
And
You know,
I do take the time to put my armor on, by the
all right, smart move.
way.
Y-
I never
y-
had to worry about that.
but you make your way over to Joy Vase, and that is where we're going to end tonight because we have already gone 20 minutes over. And so I didn't want to stop before we got back together, kind of thing. You guys were all scattered, kind of doing different things. Um, so you guys are now together, going to Jorvase, or to meet up with Forsyth to go to Jorvase. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
All right.
All right. So let me say thank you to all of you that are watching. If you haven't done so already, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you know when we are live. You can also check out our website at dnddadjokes.com for also updates and the town crier, read what happened tonight, and various other things. Check that out. And we will see you next week.
That's a threat. I mean, promise.
See everyone next week.